I brought a pneumatic Hetty off eBay and it's not working. Today I'm going to be unwrapping it for the first time because it's just arrived. I'm going to show you how I'm going to diagnose the fault and also get it back up and running again, showing you what I need to do to repair this particular vacuum. I'm a bit nervous on this one because I broke the #1 rule of buying on eBay, which I'll explain in a little bit, and I'm not sure if I'm going to even make any money on it, but it's not all about that, it's about getting this back up and running. Also stick around to the end of the video because as well as diagnosing this one, I'll also be showing you how to diagnose in full any power loss issue that you're currently having. So we need to get unboxed, or in this case unwrapped. It's arrived in some bubble wrap, which is good, and some black plastic. I have had worse packaging off eBay, so this is a case of trying to unwrap it and cut it without damaging it. I'll just fast forward this bit so you don't die of boredom. So I'm not using a Stanley knife for this, I'm using scissors, and I'm trying to go round the rim of the hat, if you like, because that way I'm not using a Stanley knife and I'm not going to cut the wire and I'm not going to scratch a hat or anything like that. So this is probably the best way to do this. Okay, so first impressions, it's the high and low model. She smells amazing, which isn't always a good thing. These scented boostable malarkey things that people put in with the washing, all these housewife videos on YouTube will tell you to chuck them in your vacuum cleaner, and I've actually seen the wax build up from them on motors before. So yeah, it smells lovely, it smells of them, scented Lenor things. So we'll see as we go along if that's killed her or not. I bought her for £20 off eBay, plus postage, which is far too much to pay. But you know what, she looked kind of appealing, very shiny. She's got a bit dusty in the post, but that's all okay. No major damage. So yeah, I've overpaid a little bit, and I'll go on shortly to explain how much you're likely to make on something like this. But I did break the #1 rule on buying on eBay, buying vacuum cleaners. I've been doing it since, brought my first Henry to fix in 2010. That looks all okay, dirty filter, but yeah, oh well. Now, my golden rule is, obviously it's all a bit of a gamble, but I always look on the seller's other items, and if they've got vacuum cleaners that are working, I'm very unlikely to buy one that's not working off them, and that's what I did. So I broke my #1 rule of buying on eBay. The reason behind that, I'm just going to start undoing this. I'll see if I've got the right screwdriver. 1 second. It's a newer model, you need a Torx screwdriver. They're available to buy in the link up there. Yeah, so, what was I saying? Can't actually remember. I'll be totally honest. I'm going to fast forward this bit as well. This could be a bit boring. I'm going to basically undoing all the 4 screws from the outside, for those that you don't know, and then the 3 screws on the inside. I'm just going to look through the whole thing and test a few things. Ah, I've remembered. Right, so the reason I don't buy off people that sell vacuum cleaners or have other vacuum cleaners is that they're likely to be able to repair them. So if they've deemed this unrepairable, then why would it be any different for me? The whole idea, obviously when I first started, I don't do this anymore, by the way. I don't buy stuff to repair because I'm VAT registered as well. It's not worth it. I don't make anything from doing it. But if it's a bit of a side hustle, that's cool. It's still a gamble. You need to really be buying something like this for £20. You need to buy the full toolkit, so get a trade account somewhere. And then you need to be fixing it. And you really need to be doing that for under £30, including the full toolkit, maybe a new filter and stuff. So your repair itself needs to be less than a tenner to make the whole thing cost you 50 quid. And then you want to be selling it for £70 to make £20. I hope you got all that. I hope I didn't do that too fast. So yeah, you are hoping to make £20 profit. And it will take you about an hour to repair this and clean it up. The cleaning often takes longer than the repairs, but then obviously you've got the trouble. If I open this up and it needs a new motor and stuff, that's where people aren't making any money from repairing these things. So yeah, perhaps my best profitable way, if you're interested in vacuum cleaners and you want to earn a bit of money on the side, you just need to go on this link here, and that's kind of what I started doing a bit of when I had a bit more time last year. Yeah, it seems to be quite profitable. It's working on shark vacuum cleaners, turning a £20 vacuum cleaner and spinning it really quickly and making like 100 quid with no hassle. So yeah, look at that video. Now this, I've taken it apart. All I've done is I've lifted the shell off. I've took the cable out. Now, the seller said that they tested this and it worked, and then it stopped working. So at least I had a bit of a guide, but I am not plugging this in because you know what? My days are over plugging stuff in I don't know anything about. It makes me jumpy for a start. I've had them arrive with no motors. I've had them arrive full of water. So yeah, I don't turn them on to test them. I am using my multimeter and my good old eyeballs to see what's wrong. So firstly, there's rewind contacts underneath here. Now, on the odd occasion these can break. That would cause power loss, but they're visually okay. So now I'm going to just check the cable for continuity. I basically get my multimeter, I put it on the beep mode, okay, and I'm bridging between the connector inside and the pin on the cable, and then so I've got a connection there. There we go. So now I move to the other pin and the other connector underneath. Now power going through there. So really good educated guess and a test shows that this power cable is perfectly fine. So next on the circuit would be going towards like the switch and stuff like that. Now this high and low model does have a, I've not prepared for this video very well, I've not even got a proper tool to take this cover off. Yeah, this model, high-low model, does have a circuit board which are very common for failing. So if we test this switch, then we'll look at the motor, and if all of those are okay, basically it's going to be the circuit board. There we go. So the switch, so this switch has been left on, so we have continuity. You're measuring between the brown wire and the white wire and the blue wire on the behind it and the other wire. So that switch is all okay. I'll turn it off and now we won't get a beep. Cool. So that switch is okay. The high-low switch is here. That's not going to affect power loss. So from the description, we know it stopped working. It's not going to be the high-low switch. Now, if it wasn't turning from high to low or anything like that, then it possibly could be the high-low switch. But that's not the diagnosis we've been given. This smells lovely, but this Lenor Unstoppables crap is I think it may have possibly killed this one. We'll see. Right, so I've loosened the lid, and now I turn them upside down to look in the motor, purely because then it makes the whole thing easier to line up later. I'll explain. Oh my wow. Oh my wow, yeah. We've got basically Lenor Unstoppables. I'm just going to stop the video now because I need to show you this. Okay, 1 second. So yeah, there we go. I've not lifted the motor out yet. All this crap is this Lenor Unstoppables thing that all these clever so-and-sos on YouTube tell you to put all that. So it's basically, they've probably not used a bag. It's found its way through the filter because the motors are quite strong. It's gone through the motor, and we're yet to see really if that's the thing that's trashed it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these carbon brushes off either side of the motor, those there, those there. I'm going to get all this emptied out, and I'm going to see if I think the motor is the problem. Okay, so I've took the motor out. I'm testing it now. There's no continuity with the carbon brushes, so this could probably be a good sign. We're going to take the carbon brushes off. This has just got a screw each side. And then what we're doing, we're going to take them out. And the carbon brushes, if you don't know, sit on the motor, and they're on springs, and they're like a little carbon stick, and they press against the bit that spins in the middle of the motor, and that all makes it work nice. If they're not springing out and pressing against the motor, or if the contacts are all like got muck on them, or in this case like a waxy horrible stuff, it's going to stop it working too. So my hope now for this Hetty is, woo! Man, after that to drop. I should put these wires off really, but don't matter. Yeah, my hope for this Hetty is that she doesn't need a new motor that's going to cost typically someone, I don't know, let's say £35 for a compatible motor, or like 60 quid for the genuine ones. We don't want that type of expense. We just want to be able to clean the motor up and get it working again. Right, I'm going to take the carbon brushes out. If you want to know how to do all this diagnosing, like I said at the beginning of the video, I do have a video that does it all in detail and all close up to show you how to diagnose any fault. That's available in the top corner now, and also in the description, and I'll put it on the end of the video too. So yeah, these yeah, there's just wax everywhere. Bloody hate these things. The carbon brushes are not springing out. Okay, so they're in their holders. At this point, I don't know if they're worn or not, because they're not springing in and out at all. Just gonna try and get them out, see how much they're worn. But this stuff, honestly, my hands are full of wax from this stuff. I'm just gonna quickly take off the back of the carbon brush. So yeah, my plan now is to put the screwdriver into the back of the carbon brush, and then I'm going to just go to another room where I've got a hard surface to tap it on. And I'll try and get this carbon brush released. I'll be back shortly. I return with good news and bad news. Bad news first, one of them's totally stuck. I'm absolutely destroying it trying to get it out. To show you, the other one has come free a bit, but that's wires broke. So yeah, they're not sliding in and out of the holders anyway. There's wax in there. These are contaminated with wax. The end of it's a bit burnt out anyway from it failing. So on this kind of repair, we need to buy carbon brushes for this particular motor. I wouldn't say that we need to really replace the motor. I'm a bit nervous about that being a bit dirty and stuff. If you need to know how to clean a motor up, I'll put the link in the top corner now. So yeah, I'm not gonna actually show you now me repairing her, because I thought it was gonna be a quick fix, and it isn't. I'm gonna empty out all this crap that's in here. Now what I'd probably do as well is I'd probably replace this filter. This is a noise reducing filter. You can buy these on their own. They go around the motor, so I'm going to go get one of those from the shed. I'll put that in, and then I'm going to fit the new carbon brushes to the motor, and we're going to see if she works. I'll clean the motor up as well. So yeah, join me again shortly, and we'll see how she got on. So here we are, an hour later. The sun is shining, I've got my shorts on, and Hetty's surgery is complete. She has had an extensive clean of the contacts on her motor. She has been contact cleaned as well because there's loads of wax build-up. I've tapped out the motor, air blasted it out just to get rid of everything. All the casing inside has been cleared out of any dust as well. What else has she had? She's had a new filter. And needless to say, she has had the new carbon brushes put on her motor. I must say that if this was my own vacuum and I'd never repaired a Henry before, or a Hetty, I would just buy a new motor. Because it's been a lot of hard work. It's probably took about an hour just to do all that. And we don't really know if she works at all yet. Or if she'll be reliable for the future. I hope so, because I like to think that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I would just buy a new motor. I mean, if you're looking to make a profit though on this, right, so I paid £27 including postage, which is way too high to pay for a vacuum cleaner that doesn't work if you're trying to make any money on it. So I've got £27. Your carbon brushes, I'll put my teeth in, would normally cost you around, what, between £7 and £12, depending on what model it is. So let's call that a tenner, so that makes £37. You've got your little filter inside. That's 40, another filter, 40. You know what? We're going to be looking at around £55. And you've spent an hour repairing it. And you've had to watch me. And we've not cleaned it yet. So yeah, we would need to sell her for £70 on Facebook Marketplace, cash. I mean, they're going to try and knock you down anyway, but you can't afford to. You have spent £55 doing it all. And you are selling it for £70 to make £15. It's not the easiest £15 you're ever going to make. So, without further ado, less of my rambling. Oh, and finally, you know what? A bit of credit to the person who sold this. I don't think they'd actually been inside it. They must have just started her up. She's farted and stuff, and they thought, you know what? Like I've just said, it's not worth it if they're trying to make any money. So yeah, hats off to the seller who actually sold me this thing. Quick delivery, strange packaging, but they were truthful to the word. Or everything they said about this vacuum was true. So yeah, let's see if she's working again. Ready? Power on. Turn the power up. Oh, perfect. And you know what? She still smells quite nice, which is a bit worrying, but yeah. She's ready to go. I'm going to go and clean her. I'll put a toolkit on her. I'll chuck her on Facebook Marketplace. I'll get inundated by people asking me if she's still available. And then I'll probably end up selling her for £40. You know what it's like. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Please subscribe for more Henry videos. This next one is the one that I've mentioned a couple of times already. It's how to clean up your motor if you are putting new carbon brushes on it.